This is Inside Badger Football with head coach Trey Shucker. Financial support for Inside Badger Football is provided by Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, the accounting firm of Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Welch Funeral Home, Austin Wingfield State Farm, Southern Bank Corp., Chad Kesterson Shelter Insurance, Southwest Sporting Goods, Taylor King and Associates, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts, Price and Company, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Eccles, Thompson and Kneebone, Clark County Farm Bureau, Dairy Queen, Pediatrics Plus, South Central Connect, Java Primo, Southwest Auto Collection, Midian Digital Creations, Andy's Restaurant of Arkadelphia, and Israel Word Law Farmers Insurance. The host of Inside Badger Football is Chase Hartzell.
And welcome to another episode of Inside Badger Football with Trey Shucker. I'm your host, Chase Hartzell, and as always, we're joined by Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. Coach Shucker, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So another great week for Arkadelphia this week. This time, a huge conference win over Ashdown.
Yeah, it was a big win for us in our home stadium. You know, we knew it was going to be a big matchup, big conference matchup. You know, Ashdown was undefeated. You know, it was just going to be a good game, a good dogfight. And, you know, we were able to come out on top. We made just enough plays to win it.
And there were quite a few momentum shifts in this game. Yeah. A lot of ups and downs through this game. Ashdown, a very good team, undefeated heading into this matchup, and they showed why they refused to lose up to this point in the season. Put up a great fight, but your team responded well. How did you feel about the team's responses to the ups and downs and all those momentum swings that we saw?
Yeah, you know, in a big game like that, and we talk about that with the team quite a bit, in a big game, there's going to be that. You know, there's going to be ups and downs. You got to find a way to overcome it. And, you know, earlier in the season, we were able to overcome some things, but just was not able to finish the game with the win. And we had a big game Friday, and again, it was ups and downs, but we were able to overcome a lot of that and found a way to get that win. So it was a really big win for us.
And on the note of momentum, this win gives Arkadelphia 3 straight victories here in the middle of the season, heading into the late season and hopefully postseason play, as this win helped the Badgers to secure their place in that playoff picture. How important is that momentum from these kinds of wins in the middle of the season heading into those later games in late October and early November?
Well, it's huge. You know, you get that momentum, you know, you start stacking those wins up, you get the momentum to move forwards and into the playoffs with that momentum and get that confidence. You know, that's a big thing with the momentum is confidence. You know, going into some more big games in the future, you're able to rely on those big wins for you and just the confidence moving forward with the momentum. So it's big for us, not only with like playoff seeding and conference standings, but just the confidence for the team and the momentum carrying forward.
And in this game in particular, defense played a huge part in the final outcome. Ashdown is a team that can put up some points and they can put them up quickly, but the defense did a good job of holding Ashdown off the board to start out this game, but in addition to that, also putting up some points on the board as well. In a 6-point game, as we saw, they created 9 points of their own and then also created several turnovers that led to more points for the offense. How did their performance play into the outcome we saw on Friday night?
Oh, it was awesome. You know, our defense played extremely well against a really good Ashdown offense. We knew that going in. They're very talented, they're athletic, have some really, really good football players, but our defense stepped up to it. You know, they played a great game. We're able to, especially early in that first half, you know, we're able to get them off the field quickly, you know, and then we're able to put up some points. Like you said, we had a scoop and score for a touchdown, and, you know, we were able to get a safety late in the game. That was a big play for us and swung the momentum back in our favor. And it was just defense did a great job Friday night. Very, very pleased and proud of our defense.
A lot of highlights across the board, and with that, we're going to take a look at this week's highlights. This was the game against Ashdown from this past Friday night.
Starting off, we were able to get the ball first. And going into it, we want the ball first. We always want to play ahead from ahead, and getting the ball in our offense hands to put together a good drive was crucial for us. And we got the ball. Jay Sean had a great night, running the football, ran hard. But Ashdown, we knew that they were good on defense as well. They've been able to hold their opponents to low numbers and low scores. So we knew that we had to really set the tone with this first drive. Donovan did a really good job in the run game, pulling the ball on some of his run reads, and was able to get upfield and get some positive gains. You see him right here again on a 4th down situation. His run read made him pull it, and he was able to get upfield for a 1st down. So this was a big play to cap off that first drive. Alex Loy has been able to do this all year long. It doesn't matter the opponent, but he's been able to hit that deep ball and get open and just playing fast and running down the ball right there with a great catch in the end zone. It was really big for us to get the momentum in our favor, to get the score in our favor early in the game, and just really good play overall by our offense.
And it felt like maybe some of those smaller, more methodical plays that we saw to start out the drive really opened up for that touchdown opportunity there on that play.
It really did. We knew that we could, if we were a little bit more methodical with how we attacked and approached the first drive, the big play would pop open. And once we saw that opportunity, we took it and we were able to execute it and was able to come big with it. And our defense, first drive for our defense, did a great job coming out, getting to the football and wrapping up and tackling. You see us getting in the backfield, disrupting the passer, and right here, we're able to maintain good coverage. So got them off the field, and then really big play here as well. Marvion Berry with a punt block, putting our offense in good field position right here was a huge play for us. Right here, he's understanding his gap assignment, gets through and gets a hand to the ball, and just a big play for us right there, putting us in good field position, keeping the momentum in our favor. A punt block is huge when it comes to momentum of the game, and we were able to get that early. And early in the game, we had all the momentum. Things were just clicking, and we just carried and moved forward.
And this was another case here of Donovan Witten using his legs on 4th down to extend the drive. We saw Ashdown commit a lot to Jay-Sean Davis and even Braylon Bailey, but that really opened up some opportunities for Witten in the run game.
Yeah, it really did. Their whole goal was to take away Jay-Sean Davis, and it's a very, very difficult task to do that. But it really opened up Donovan to be able to tuck and go on some things, and he did a really good job of taking advantage of it. And you see Jay-Sean Davis, once we get down here close to the goal line, Jay Sean is a tough force. You see him getting us there close. We're a couple inches away, and then we just quarterback sneak it in. O-line did a great job of getting the push to get us in the end zone and get us up 2 scores really, really quickly.
Yep, and it's 14-0 Arkadelphia still in the first quarter. Ashdown here on the kickoff. They did have some solid kick returns to start out this game.
Yes, they did. When you go up against a team that's as athletic and fast as they are, those kickoff returns we've got to do a really good job of covering down, getting to our aiming point on the ball carrier and getting the ball carrier down. Big hold right there. Big play, was able to get the ball out on that 4th down. Could have been real easy for them to get a big push, and our defense did not allow it. Got us the ball back right there, and again, good field position. You see Donovan Witten being able to get upfield right there, get some positive gains, and then Jay Sean's running hard. When he's running hard, he's so hard to bring down, and he did that really early, and it was really big for us for our first few drives of the game.
And Ashdown did a pretty good job on those first couple of drives containing Jay Sean, but on this drive, it just really seemed like there was no stopping him.
Yeah, we had all the momentum. we're up 2 scores. We're able to drive it all the way down again. Our defense put us in good field position again, and was able to go down and score. So now it's 21-0 in the first quarter, and we're feeling really good. You know, the momentum's in our favor. All we've got to do is stay on the gas and keep moving. There's still a lot of football left at this point, and we've just got to understand the sense of urgency that every play matters still.
So you see the field has flipped. This is the start of the second quarter. Arkadelphia up 21-0, and Ashdown, even though they're down pretty big here at this point, they're going to continue to fight, and they showed that fighting spirit throughout this game.
That's what good teams do. You know, good teams, it doesn't matter what the score is. They're going to go out and play to the level that they expect to play. You know, Ashdown, good team going into the game, still a good team, undefeated at this point before the game, and you know they're trying to ride that momentum that they've had moving into it. You know, the confidence that they've had all season of all the wins that they've had. So, you know, to them, I would say they didn't play like it was 21-0. You know, and that's just what good teams do. Big play right here on 4th down again. You know, we're in the backfield. Big hit, ball comes out. Alex Turley scoops it up and takes it to the end zone. You know, big heads-up play right there by him. You know, playing through the whistle. There was a whistle. We're going to continue to play, and you know, just that's one thing that we really take pride in on defense is playing all the way through the whistle. You know, ball pops out, we see it, we pick it up, and we score.
And this play, just a full-on team effort. You see Katie Young getting to the quarterback first, wasn't able to bring him down, but Landon Q in there to deliver the big hit, and then Alex Turley with the wherewithal to see where the football was. All 3 players keeping their eyes on the ball, and that allows Turley to get downfield for the 75-yard score. Yeah,
it was a huge play for us. You know, if you're getting to the football, you're going to get in the right spot, and you're going to be able to make that play, and our defense was. You know, Alex Turley's getting to the football, hustling, and the ball pops out, and he's right there to pick it up and go. So now it's, you know, 28-0. You know, everything seems to be going well. And, you know, defense is playing really well, making a lot of plays. Offense was able to drive and score on all 3 drives. And, you know, at this point, we've just got to keep on the gas. You know, it's early in the game still. You know, it's not even halfway through the second quarter, and we're up 28-0, and we feel good. And you know, everything was going in our way. You know, we didn't have to overcome any obstacles. So this play was just an unfortunate play. We're trying to fair catch a punt. You know, trying to keep ourselves in good field position, manageable field position, and it just didn't go our way. You know, and this is just, you talk about those obstacles and momentum swings throughout the course of a game, and in a big game, things are going to happen, and you've got to overcome them. But this right here really it really hurt our momentum when it came to just those good plays that were happening. We had something bad happen, that's going to happen. But it put their offense in good field position, gave them a little bit of spark, and you know, they capitalize on it. That's what good teams do. So they capitalize on it. You know, a big play right there by the receiver going up and making a catch for a touchdown. So now it's 28-7.
And now we see the following kickoff. A lot of line drive kicks in this game.
Yeah, they wanted to keep it on the ground and make our returners have to go field it and not get a clean return. You know, at this point, we still feel good. We've not been stopped on offense yet. You know, just a big catch right there by Tripp Campbell. You know, he's got some of the best hands on the team. You know, offense got stalled out. You know, we went for it on 4th, didn't get it. So we gave it back to Ashdown. You know, and our defense is playing well. You know, especially when our defense is playing so well, we don't mind going for it on 4th. We just have the confidence in our defense that it doesn't matter where the ball's at, they're going to be able to get it back to us.
And here, just good wherewithal by the quarterback, able to sneak into the end zone there. It wasn't a design run play, but found an opening and capitalized. Ashdown now within 2 scores, still in the second quarter. And by this time, Arkadelphia's defense had spent quite a bit of time on the field.
It was, and that was one thing. Our offense has got to move the ball to keep the defense off the field. Or we put together a long drive there and didn't come up with anything. And so here, this drive is going into halftime. I believe this was the last play, trying to get the ball moving forward. So that was halftime. We're up 2 scores still. And what we talk about at halftime was, we played really, really well for a good quarter and a half. And we've got to maintain that and continue to build on that going into the second half. We're doing a great job of disrupting the passer. He just did a really good job of making plays with his legs when things weren't there. He also did a really good job of just taking the easy throws. That's a big play right there for them on 4th down, and just a good throw and catch by them. Going up against a good offense, they're going to find ways to get the ball to their players.
Another huge touchdown there for Ashdown on the diving catch, but this was really a big play for Arkadelphia on special teams, able to get to the ball right there and block the PAT. So 20-0 run right now for Ashdown, but it could have been 21.
Yeah, it really was a big play for us. They had back-to-back scores. They actually had the momentum at that point, even though we were ahead, and getting that PAT blocked was big for us, to get us some momentum back and get us, when we get the football back, we've got something to move forward with.
And as you mentioned, the blocked PAT really seemed to bring a little bit of extra fire going into the second half. It had been rough going for the Badgers through the late part of the second quarter, early part of the third quarter, but it really seemed like that blocked PAT maybe helped them to get back on track a little bit.
Yeah, things went so well, so quickly, and so I guess you can call it easily, just more quickly, that first quarter and a half, that once things started kind of picking up and things became not as easy. We got some penalties here and there. It seemed like every time we had a big play, there was a penalty that kind of slowed us down. And, those are the things that we talk about we've got to overcome. We've got to be disciplined. We've got to execute the plays that we've got. This was a big play for us whenever we were stopped. It was 4th down. And, Spencer Allen came in there. We felt good about his range right there. And he did a great job of, kicking it through the uprights and getting us 3 points.
And not every high school kicker is going to be able to go into that situation in 1-score game and drill a 36-yarder, not a short field goal by any means either.
Yeah, no, that's not a short field goal. That's a pretty good field goal kick by any high school standards, and he was able to come in with some confidence and squared it up. It was great. Just big to get any kind of points and momentum at that time of the game.
And Ashdown did force a stop on the Badgers' own side of the field, but the secondary on this drive was excellent, including this interception right here to cap off the drive. I believe that was Kobe Buckley on the interception.
Yeah, that's Kobe Buckley. He did a great job of keeping his leverage and alignment on the coverage, and did a great job of getting to the ball and made a play on the ball in the air and was able to return it for some yards to help our offense out and get us in better field position. It was a great job by our defense getting us the ball back.
And we talk about Donovan Witten's arm and his legs a lot, but how about using his legs this time for a beautiful punt, perhaps one of the Badgers' best of the year, downing it inside the 1-yard line, setting up for this huge play.
Yes, that was huge. Big punt for us, got a good roll, was able to keep it out of the end zone, and then just followed up by this big play right here. K.D. Young was able to get a sack for a stop for a safety. Getting us points any way we can is huge in a big game.
But Ashdown is not going away. That was a Hail Mary 48-yard pass on 4th down, and Ashdown still in this game, a little over a minute and a half to go, and it really came down to this onside kick.
Yeah, the Hail Mary pass is something that We do coach it quite a bit. We have segments in our practice time throughout the week that we coach. It's just an unfortunate play for us, a play that we didn't make, and then just a really good play on their part. But followed up, we got the onside kick, and then at that point we're able to take a few quarterback kneels, and the game was over. So, overall, we played really, really good for a quarter and a half. We had some penalties that really stalled us out on offense. We had some penalties that kind of helped Ashdown out throughout the next 2.5 quarters. We missed some plays here and there where you just weren't clicking on offense. We just weren't executing at the expectation and the level that we had the first quarter and a half. So things got a little bit more difficult, and we had to overcome some things. Weren't overall able to do that, but as a team, we were able to. Our defense played really well, made some big stops, made some big plays. We were able to. Our kicker kicked a field goal. Our defense got a safety, so got some extra points here and there. We had the fumble return, and just overall team win for us was a big, big win for us.
And you mentioned that fumble return. We didn't know it at the time. It was 28-0 after that score, and it looked like the Badgers were maybe on their way to a good sportsman rule finish by perhaps even halftime. But that play ended up serving as the game-winning score in this game, which I think really serves as a testament to how back and forth this game truly was.
It really was. We got up to 28-0 early. It was so early that there's a lot of football to be played still. We got almost comfortable, and you can't be like that in the first half. You try to get to that 35 at halftime, and then once you get to the sportsmanship rule, the second half goes by really, really quickly. So you got to be able to keep going. 28-0 happened so quick, so fast for our guys. I think they thought it was going to be so easy, and it's real easy to be that way. But it was a really good learning point for our program and our coaches and our kids. We've got to maintain what we're doing. Just because the score does not mean things change, does not mean the expectation's different. You've got to go out and execute and play high-level football.
And so that theme of maintenance and holding on to the lead, do you think that's one of the main takeaways that you hope your team comes away with from this win?
Yes, that's one thing that doesn't matter really the score. The expectation of executing and being physical, playing fast, playing with confidence is always the same. It does not matter the score. You've got to do it for 4 quarters regardless of who you're playing. And in a big game like this, you've got to maintain it the whole way. And that showed all the way through. We were able to come out on top.
Well, it was a great game, Coach, and kudos to Ashdown.
Yes.
They've had a phenomenal season thus far, just their first loss of the year in that one. The final score in that one, Arkadelphia 33, Ashdown 27. And, Coach, we talked about there were a lot of high points all around in this game, and we're going to look at some of the key performances in this matchup with our Badger Players of the Week.
So our Offensive Player of the Week is Matthew Porter. He's our center. Had a great game Friday night, with not only with the snaps but with blocking and making sure that our offensive line knew what we were supposed to do on each play. But he did a great job, graded out the highest on our offensive line and finished his blocks. Did a great job, his best game so far. Defensive Player of the Week, Alex Turley, was one of our leading tacklers. I believe he had 10 tackles, also had a PBU, and then obviously the big scoop and score for a touchdown that really solidified the game. Ultimately at the end of the game was the deciding factor in the win, and just a big play. He's been a big player for us on defense all year, and was our Defensive Player of the Week this week. Special Teams Player of the Week, Marvion Berry. He plays linebacker for us, but on special teams, had a huge night for us. That early in the game, he had a punt block, put our offense in good field position to score, and then also he was the one that blocked the PAT. And anytime we can keep a team from scoring in any way, it's going to be beneficial for our team and our success, and he did a great job of getting that PAT blocked. And then our Badger Spirit Award winner is Clark Wingfield. Clark Wingfield is a junior high football player for us in our program. Has done a great job all year. He's a ball boy for us on Friday nights. Our junior high program is doing really well right now. They've had a lot of wins. He's done a great job, And he's not only been with us this football season and been a ball boy for us, but he also started back with us in the spring ball. Back in May, he would come to practice and he would move the ball and spot the ball and help us out during practice any way he could. And then he was with us during the summer as well. Just a great all-around team player for us and a big program guy.
Yep. And congratulations to all of this week's Badger of the Week award winners. And with that, we're going to take a look at some of the other scores around the conference here in the 8th week of the season. So you see the score we just broke down there, Arkadelphia 33 and Ashdown 27. And we move on to Robinson, who stays undefeated atop the standings in the 7-4A, picking up a huge win on the road against Bauxite.
Yeah, that was a big win for them just to keep the momentum going for them. They've had a great season. They're going to have a tough matchup this week. They've got to go to Ashdown, and the team that we just played, it was a big game for us. They're a very, very good football team. I would expect Ashdown to kind of bounce back and give them a really good game.
And then you look at Nashville and Harmony Grove. Nashville's had some ups and downs this year, but they fought really hard on Friday night and picked up another huge win on the season, this time beating Harmony Grove 28-21.
Yes, Nashville, they've just had things that have been unfortunate happen to them this season, and just kind of struggled, and Harmony Grove's a tough football team. They're a hard-nosed run team, and, overall that's a really good win for Nashville. And, this is probably a really, really good game based off the score, and that's just how it is on any Friday night, in our conference. You got to bring it every Friday night. Every night's a dogfight.
And then the final score we have there to close out, Malvern 56 and Fountain Lake 22. Malvern looking very impressive over the last few weeks. We've talked about Arkadelphia, Ashdown, Robinson in the playoff picture, but Malvern trying to stake their claim to one of those 4 playoff spots as well.
Yeah, they're a team that seems to have improved every single week, and they've had some injuries, but they've been able to get some new guys in, and it looks like they've been able to progress those guys and be really, really successful. They're going to be a good team for us that last week of conference. And then Fountain Lake, they've been a really good team as well this year. They just dealt with some injuries just over the course of the season, and there's years that it happens like that. We've had some injuries ourselves. We've been able to overcome some of that and get some guys back. We've also had some really good guys, some second team guys and younger guys step in and fill roles that they've had to grow up a little bit quickly, and they've done a great job at doing that. So it's just over the course of the season, you see at this point the teams that are playing their best football are probably teams that are healthy.
And Coach, still a lot of football left to play this season, but we're going to take a look at where the conference standings are through 8 games for the 7-4A. At the top there, you see Robinson undefeated, and then there in second place shows how crucial this win truly was on Friday night. It's a tie for second place between Arkadelphia and Ashdown, but with the win, Arkadelphia does have that head-to-head advantage over Ashdown in that tie. And then Malvern, we just talked about them, have had several weeks in a row where they've had impressive performances, and right now they're in that 4th spot trying to claim that playoff spot in the 7-4A. And then Fountain Lake, even though they've had their ups and downs, they're still right there in the fight at 2 and 3. And then you have Nashville and Harmony Grove. Both have gotten huge conference wins this season, and in recent weeks especially. Nashville just this week picking up their first win over Harmony Grove, who won their crucial rivalry conference game over Bauxite just a few weeks ago. And there you see Bauxite 0-5, and that's who Arkadelphia has next on the schedule. Haven't won a conference game yet, but they've been fighting really hard, and this is a team that really hasn't been out of the fight altogether in any of those games. They've just continued to fight, and very rarely do you see them in something like a good sportsman rule situation.
That's right. That's the thing about it is, the record doesn't really show how tough of a team they really are. They're 0-5, but every game is a closer game than what you would think an 0-4 or 5 team would be, but they really are. They hold their opponents to lower numbers than what they're used to, and then their offense moves the football. They've just had some unfortunate plays happen that haven't gone their way. It'll be senior night there this coming Friday, and I would expect them to come out in the pit and ready to perform.
Yeah. And at this point in the season now, you've got 8 games under your belt, and This is a time where you're on a momentum roll right now, but I'm sure the players are getting tired at this point. Everybody's dealing with their own set of circumstances and issues, injuries, that type of thing. How do you keep a team motivated going into those last couple games of the conference schedule?
The biggest thing is trying to keep the kids healthy. That's one. Two is, keeping them motivated, keeping practice fun, and keeping competing. With the type of team that we have, it's not difficult to get the kids to compete. They're fiery. They love to play football. They get after it, and it's might be a little bit more difficult for some, but for us, it's really not hard to keep our kids focused. Our kids know the expectation. They want to be a state championship contender, and they've done a great job at progressing over the whole course of the season and building for that. The only thing that we've got to worry about right now is playing the next game and taking care of business in that, and then we'll just keep moving forward from there. We try to not worry about the big picture, too much. That we just try to keep the week-to-week basis goals in line and keep that the focus. And our kids do a great job at preparing. Our coaches do a great job at getting each position group coached up and prepared for the game. We try to do the best job we can to keep it fun for the kids and keep them healthy and get them to Friday at this point in the season.
Yep, and it'll be a good matchup on Friday. You mentioned the Pit earlier,
yeah.
Home of one of the most passionate fan bases in Arkansas high school football. They have a reputation for always going out and supporting their team. And then on top of that, Bauxite, even though this year they're not necessarily in the playoff picture at this point, they're a team that likes to play the spoilers even in those down years, even when it seems like the Miners, when they have those ups and downs, they still find ways to win games even despite those setbacks. So what can we expect from this matchup?
Well, it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's senior night there. The Pit on any given night is a great environment. It's going to be a tough place to play. It really is, and I would expect Bauxite to come out ready to play football and trying to fight and do anything they can to get a win in their stadium for the last conference game in their stadium. So I would expect just a normal 7-4A matchup. It's going to be a dogfight early, and whoever makes the most plays and takes care of the football is going to come out on top.
It's going to be a fun 7-4A matchup, and that game will be starting at 7 p.m. on Friday night at the Pit in Bauxite. And if you can make it out, go and support the Badgers. But if you can't be there, you can catch the game on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. And next week we'll be back right here to break down the game. So, Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Go Badgers.
Go Badgers.
Financial support for Inside Badger Football is provided by Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, the accounting firm of Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Welch Funeral Home, Austin Wingfield State Farm, Southern Bank Corp, Chad Kesterson Shelter Insurance, Southwest Sporting Goods, Taylor King and Associates, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts, Price and Company, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone, Clark County Farm Bureau, Dairy Queen, Pediatrics Plus, South Central Connect, Java Primo, Southwest Auto Collection, Midian Digital Creations, Andy's Restaurant of Arkadelphia, and Israel Word Law Farmers Insurance. Inside Badger Football is produced weekly by Ouachita Baptist University's Rogers Department of Communications and the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.